Hello everyone, enjoy today's episode of Tales by Proverbs. Watch, listen and learn. And don't forget to subscribe. Ciao, ciao.
Have you ever wondered why some people climb to the top alone and still feel empty, while others succeed surrounded by people and feel fulfilled? There's an ancient Zulu proverb that says, Umuntu, ngumuntu, ngabantu, a person is a person through other people. It sounds beautiful on the surface, like a poetic celebration of community and togetherness. But what it's really revealing is a terrifying truth about what happens when you try to build a life without people, when you confuse independence with strength and isolation with protection. If you've ever felt the crushing loneliness of success, or watched someone you admired self-destruct despite having everything, or felt like your achievements mean nothing because you have no one to share them with, this proverb is about to expose why isolation, even successful isolation, is the most dangerous trap of modern life. But hidden inside this saying is a warning most people only understand when it's too late, a warning about losing your humanity in the pursuit of independence. Let me tell you about someone named Tobo. Meet Tobo, a brilliant individual who grew up in Soweto believing that people were the problem. His father had been cheated by a business partner who disappeared with their savings. His mother was betrayed by her closest friend, who spread rumors that destroyed her reputation. Young Tobo watched these betrayals unfold and learned a lesson that would shape his entire life: trust no one, need no one, depend only on yourself. For 20 years, Tobo built an empire on that philosophy. He wanted success on his own terms, no partners who could steal from him, no teams who could betray him, no deep attachments that could hurt him. Just him, his brilliant mind, and his relentless drive to prove that one person, alone, could conquer the world. By 42, he'd done it. A multi-million rand investment portfolio. Properties across Johannesburg. A penthouse in Sandton with floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the city. Everything this individual touched turned to gold, because he never let anyone close enough to ruin it. He made every decision alone. Celebrated every win alone. Carried every burden alone. Tobo was the definition of self-made. While others needed teams, he worked alone through nights. While others sought mentors, he taught himself through books and mistakes. While others built networks, he built walls, high, thick walls that kept everyone at a safe distance. To the outside world, he was winning. Magazine features called him the Lone Lion of Sandton. Speaking invitations poured in from young entrepreneurs wanting to learn his secrets. People called him inspirational, a role model for independence. But inside that penthouse, behind those walls, something was dying. It started small, barely noticeable. A business deal that should have excited him felt hollow. A major investment win that should have brought champagne-popping joy just felt like checking another box on a list. He'd pour expensive wine, toast to himself in the mirror, and feel absolutely nothing. Just emptiness echoing in a luxury apartment. Tobo had no one to call with good news. No one to celebrate with. No one who knew the real him behind the success metrics and portfolio statements. He'd achieved everything he wanted, but there was no one there to witness it, to validate it, to make it feel real. His chest started feeling tight at night. Not pain exactly, but pressure, like something heavy sitting on his ribs, making it hard to breathe deeply. His doctor ran tests and said it was stress, prescribed pills for anxiety. But Tobo knew it was something else. It was emptiness with weight. It was success that felt like suffocation. Then came his 43rd birthday. He woke up in his luxury penthouse, sunlight streaming through those expensive windows, and looked at his phone expecting something. But there was nothing. Not a single call. Not one message. He had 47,000 Instagram followers, hundreds of LinkedIn connections, an email list of thousands. But zero people who actually knew when his birthday was. Zero people who cared enough to remember. That evening, Tobo did something he hadn't done in decades. He broke down. Sitting on his imported Italian leather couch, surrounded by every evidence of success, he sobbed. Not sad tears. Recognition tears. He finally understood, he'd won the game but lost his humanity in the process. He thought back to his childhood, before the betrayals, before the walls went up. He remembered his grandmother singing in her small kitchen, cooking for half the street, her tiny house always full of noise and laughter and life. She died with nothing in the bank. Yet 50 people showed up to her funeral, crying real tears, sharing real memories. She'd been rich in the only currency that actually mattered. Tobo's hands trembled as he scrolled through his phone contacts, hundreds of numbers, not one person he could call just to talk. His throat felt like sandpaper. His eyes burned. The silence in that big apartment was so loud it felt like screaming. He tried to reconnect. Called old friends he'd pushed away years ago when they didn't understand his vision. But years of distance had created canyons. They were polite but cold. The bridges he'd burned didn't just disappear, they left scars that couldn't be crossed. Then his empire started cracking. A major deal went bad, not because of his strategy, but because he had no network, no allies, no one willing to give him a heads up or insider information. In the ruthless world of business, he learned too late, lone wolves don't thrive. They get picked off by the pack. His doctor delivered news that shook him, severe depression and anxiety. Mr. Tobo, the doctor said gently, your blood work is fine. Your heart is physically fine. But humans aren't designed to live in isolation. Your body is shutting down because your soul is starving for connection. One night, Tobo stood on his balcony 43 stories up, looking at Johannesburg's light stretching to the horizon. Millions of people down there. Millions of connections. Millions of relationships being lived right now, people laughing together, crying together, struggling together, winning together. And him, alone, up here, realizing he'd built a vertical prison with a view. He asked himself, what is success worth if no one knows you achieved it? What is wealth worth if you have no one to share it with? What is life worth if you're living it completely alone? That question broke something in him. And in that breaking, something new could finally be born. So what is this ancient proverb really teaching us? Umuntu, ngumuntu, ngabantu, a person is a person through other people. On the surface, it sounds like a gentle reminder to be kind, to value community, to appreciate the people around you. In Zulu culture, this proverb is the foundation of Ubuntu, a philosophy that says your humanity is intrinsically tied to recognizing and honoring the humanity in others. But dig deeper, and this isn't just about being nice. It's a fundamental, unavoidable truth about human existence. You literally cannot become who you're meant to be without other people. Here's the science, the Harvard study on adult development, the longest study on happiness ever conducted, spanning over 80 years and multiple generations, found one undeniable conclusion that shocked researchers. The quality of your relationships is the single biggest predictor of your health, happiness, and how long you'll live. Not your bank account. Not your career success. Not your achievements. Your relationships. The study found that people who were isolated, even if successful, saw their health decline earlier, their brain function decrease faster, and their lives end sooner than people with strong social connections. Loneliness isn't just an emotion you feel, it's a medical condition that kills. But here's the twist that changes everything. This proverb isn't just saying, have friends to be happy. It's making a far more radical claim, that without others, you're not even fully a person. Your identity, your growth, your very humanity requires reflection through other people. Think about it, you learn who you are by how others respond to you. You develop empathy by experiencing other people's pain. You grow wisdom by learning from others' mistakes and receiving their guidance. You understand love only by being loved. You discover your purpose through serving others. Every aspect of being human requires other humans. Tobo thought independence was strength. But what he discovered was devastating. The more isolated he became, the less human he felt. Not metaphorically. Literally. His capacity for joy shrunk. His empathy atrophied like an unused muscle. His sense of meaning evaporated because meaning requires context, and context requires community. This isn't just African wisdom. Every culture independently discovered this truth. The Japanese have a kizuna, the human bonds that tie us together. The Italians have la famiglia. Even radical American individualism admits, no man is an island. Yet we're living in the most connected yet most isolated era in human history. A 2021 Cigna study found that 61% of young adults report serious loneliness. We have more friends online than any generation before us, and fewer real connections than ever. We celebrate self-made billionaires, solo entrepreneurs, independent hustlers. But research consistently shows the most successful people aren't lone wolves, they're master relationship builders with deep, authentic connections. So what did Turbo do? He made a choice that felt terrifying. He started over. Not in business, in humanity. He joined a community center in Soweto. Not to network. Not to gain business advantages. Just to be around people. He started volunteering, teaching kids about financial literacy. Slowly, painfully, he learned to need people again. To ask for help. To share his struggles. To celebrate others' wins even when he was losing. To be vulnerable. It felt weak at first. But weakness, he discovered, was just another word for being human. And something remarkable happened. His business actually improved. Not because he was strategically networking, because he was finally whole. Deals came through relationships he wasn't trying to exploit. Opportunities arose from genuine connections. Partners appeared who actually had his back. Success followed humanity, not the other way around. Here's the radical lesson: you cannot succeed alone. Not really. You can accumulate wealth alone. You can achieve fame alone. But you cannot be fully human, fully alive, fully yourself in isolation. Ubuntu teaches us that your well-being is tied to my well-being. When I help you grow, I grow. When you suffer, I'm diminished. We're not separate islands, we're part of an interconnected whole, and pretending otherwise is slowly killing us. This means your success should lift others up. Your growth should create space for others to grow. Your strength should empower those who are weak. Not as charity or moral obligation, as necessity. Because their humanity literally completes yours. So here's your mission: look at your life right now. How many real connections do you have? Not followers or contacts or colleagues. Real people who know your struggles, celebrate your wins, and would answer if you called at 3 a.m. If that number is small, start building today. Join something. Volunteer somewhere. Show up consistently. Be vulnerable. Ask for help when you need it. Offer help without expecting return. Stop trying to do everything alone. Practice Ubuntu daily. See the full humanity in every person you encounter. That security guard, that cashier, that driver, they're not background characters in your story. They're people through whom you become more fully a person. And here's what keeps me up: in a world celebrating independence and self-reliance, are we creating a generation of successful, isolated, miserable people? If this hit home, share it. Someone you know might be building walls right now, not realizing they are constructing a prison. They need to hear this before it's too late. Because Ubuntu isn't just a philosophy. It's a survival manual for staying human in a world that rewards isolation. A person is a person through other people. Always has been. Always will be. So let me ask you this: do you believe you can truly succeed alone? Or is every achievement ultimately hollow without people to share it with? Drop your truth in the comments. Have you ever achieved something big but felt empty because you were alone? Or experienced a small win that felt massive because of who was there with you?